Good afternoon, YouTube, and to anyone who's watching, my fellow Canadians. Um, Today, I would just like to talk to you about my favorite MP, one of my favorite MPs, actually, um, Michelle Rempel, the Member of Parliament from Nose Hill in the city of Calgary. Um, so, One of the things that I really enjoy about Michelle is she has very much done her best to continue to upload content on her YouTube channel, and faithfully every day nearly, um, or it seems like every day because her content is constantly updating, that she endeavors to put as much publicity on the scandals of Trudeau as she can manage, and not only Trudeau, but other problems that are facing her, that she brings to light on her YouTube channel, and she discusses it, and in a very concise and professional manner. She is a true conservative. That I don't have to mention it, but I will nonetheless. A true conservative and a person of high moral integrity, and I respect her deeply. When she speaks, it has great force. I might add that when she produces a video, it's always very informative. It's always trying to reach out to her constituents, but Canadians abroad, anywhere where they might be voting or not, it doesn't matter. Essentially, she is one of the people that has convinced me to try to make YouTube videos, not directly, but because of her example and her bravery. So I just wanted to bring to light in a video why I think she would be a great prime minister, and then also to discuss some of the things that she's doing that Scheer isn't. So Michelle Rempel is somebody in if you've seen her in the House of Commons, she's a person who doesn't back down, and she is a force to be reckoned with. Take this one, for example, fighting against Justin Trudeau on climate change. And in the House, she just rips him to pieces, if I may say so, verbally, because it's completely professional. It's a wonderful demonstration of a passionate member of parliament who goes after the truth and who points out the truth in spite of the hypocrisy of the Liberal government, and she does it so concisely and just cuts through all the nonsense and the cloud of uncertainty that the Liberals are casting over their scandals these days, and she pierces right through that, all the nonsense and all the lying. In that way, I would consider her a top, shall we say, almost like the weapon of the Conservative Party, if I may use that language, because she is just perfect to find the truth. Many of her videos I find to be very informative. As I said before, she's extremely informative. She was the politician that informed me before the news even came out over the SNC scandal. I got the report from her first. She came on her YouTube channel and she said, "Oh, I think there's something brewing in the House today, my fellow Canadians." Paraphrasing her, of course. And as she pointed out that the SNC scandal was starting to come out even before the press got their hands on it. And because I was already a subscriber of her channel, she informed me very well already about, that SNC was accused and found guilty of bribery and so forth, with undue influence, with political lobbying, and so on and so forth. So Michelle actually, with her YouTube videos, informed me of those things, and I knew ahead of the press. I was about 2 days ahead of the press. before the scandal, came to public light, shall we say. So she's extremely on point, and she was able to get the message to me ahead of the press. So that's one thing. The other thing is she'll never ever try to swing the story with a partisan approach. She is what I would classify as completely objective and not trying to make hay or out of a scandal like what Trudeau does. Every time it's very forthright, direct, and to the point. So I envy her because she's able to squeeze all that information into a video very, very quickly, and it's a skill that I would love to have that skill in order to present the data in a very concise manner, and be able to report it in the way that she does. So you can see it's what she's trying to do is she's trying to create her own way to reach the public in spite of the press. If you're not from Canada and you're not familiar with the CBC, Trudeau just handed them, I think, $600 million plus to present him in the most favorable light that they can. And as a result, it's actually worked. The SNC scandal and other scandals before have basically been washed away by the CBC and other press. They simply have not reported it. The only one I can say that have reported it is Michelle Rempel, Pierre Poilievre, and Rebel Media. And I am trying my best to remain apolitical. But it's very hard in these times because of all the scandals that Trudeau is surrounded with. And it's very hard to say, the integrity of the Liberal Party is deeply and fundamentally in question. And its moral integrity especially, I would say. What they've done is they've proven that if you're the Prime Minister, you can get away with just about anything. And I am so tired of seeing that. I hope that Mr. Trudeau is held accountable because it throws, like what Jody Wilson-Raybould said, like the rule of law in this country is extremely important. If that's not upheld, what do we have? What's our society based on? Like this is extremely disturbing, and it needs to be addressed now, today, like yesterday. It's just absolutely how this was able to come about. And then of course now we're on the new scandal, which is the Trudeau brown face. Michelle has done a very great job of making a short, concise clip about that. She has not come out and said anything that isn't, apolitical. It's just a nice short summary of the events, and I respect her for it. So, what she is a great leader. I would nominate her as potential leader of the Conservative Party just because of her actions in Parliament. And the way her stance is with her constituents, and she is well liked in Nose Hill and everywhere. I'm sure many Conservatives who are aware of her and others that they respect her, and I do. I have the greatest respect for her. She is a great and very, very important asset of the Conservative Party. Without her, they would have a great deal of trouble with debating, because I haven't seen anybody except maybe Pierre Poilievre who can match her in the ferocity, which is very much necessary in these times. Michelle Rempel calls it as she sees it. There's no room for nonsense. That's just the truth, plain and simple and blunt. and I like that, and I appreciate that. So, Michelle, I hope if you see this video, I'm not a member of Nose Hill, but I respect what you do, and I hope that you'll be reelected. I have no doubt that you'll be reelected, and I hope that you run for Prime Minister, because that would be great. So, anyways, my fellow Canadians, we live in a very troubling time under this Prime Minister Trudeau, and I hope that you keep into account the real heroes that were fighting him the whole way, and Michelle Rempel is one of them. So I thank you for your time. Take care. Bye-bye.